30 years ago, a blue-collar sitcom quietly stepped onto American television screens, and no one could have predicted it would. Still be sparking laughter, nostalgia, and emotional memories 3 decades later. But now, as the Drew Carey Show officially turns 30, the original cast has reunited for an exclusive, no-holds-barred celebration that pulls back the curtain on one of the most innovative, rebellious, and beloved sitcoms of the 1990s. What began as a modest ABC comedy set in Cleveland, Ohio became a cultural time capsule, and the stories coming out now are wilder, funnier, and more heartfelt than fans ever imagined. When Drew Carey, Diedrich Bader, Ryan Stiles, and Kathy Kinney, known forever as Drew, Oswald, Lewis, and Mimi, sat down together again, the chemistry was instant. The jokes flew, the memories poured out, and the laughter sounded exactly the same as it did back in the 90s. From musical numbers that changed sitcom storytelling, to casting shakeups, pranks gone wrong, and moments that nearly broke the fourth wall, this reunion revealed secrets that had never been shared publicly. Until now. What's remarkable is that, even after all this time, Drew Carey himself insists he never felt the show was changing television. While his co-stars immediately push back, pointing out how the Drew Carey Show boldly experimented with live episodes, surreal dream sequences, musical extravaganzas, and audience interactive storytelling, things that were almost unheard of at the time, Drew shrugs it off with classic humility. But the truth is undeniable. This sitcom wasn't just funny, it was fearless. Premiering alongside Friends, the show often found itself overshadowed by the glamorous New York coffeehouse crowd. While Friends grabbed headlines, the Drew Carey Show quietly built a devoted fan base that appreciated its working-class humor and unapologetic love letter to Cleveland. Drew himself admits the comparison stung, especially knowing they were filming just stages apart. Yet, in hindsight, that underdog status may be exactly what allowed the show to take creative risks others wouldn't dare. Behind the scenes, Drew Carey's journey to television stardom was anything but guaranteed. Before earning $60,000 per episode in the first season, he served in the United States Marine Corps, then struggled his way through stand-up comedy. His big break came after an appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, which landed him a development deal with Disney. Ironically, that early project, called The Drew Carey Project, ended with Drew getting fired. But sometimes failure is just a detour. That same week, he landed the pilot that would change his life forever. Casting stories from the show are legendary, especially Kathy Kinney's unforgettable audition for Mimi. What she thought was a cosmetics role turned out to be a description for the meanest, ugliest woman in the world. Just furious and humiliated, Kathy unleashed a performance so bold it shocked the room. She left convinced she'd blown it, only to get a call the next day telling her she'd been hired. She wasn't even the first Mimi, or the second. She was the third, but she became the definitive one, appearing in nearly every episode and turning Mimi into a cultural icon. Setting the show in Cleveland wasn't just a creative decision, it was personal. Drew openly admits he was tired of television mocking the city. He wanted authenticity, pride, a sense of place. And that choice resonated deeply with viewers who finally saw a sitcom that felt real. Not glossy, not glamorous, just honest and hilarious. From exploding cigarettes to on-set pranks, the cast genuinely loved being together. Ryan Stiles recalls moments where laughter completely derailed scenes. Diedrich Bader admits the bond formed early, though Drew jokingly confesses he didn't even make eye contact with his co-stars during the first season. Somehow, that awkward beginning transformed into one of television's tightest ensembles. Then there were the musical numbers, the crown jewels of the Drew Carey Show. From 5 O'Clock World to over-the-top dance spectacles, complete with go-go cages and professional dancers, these segments took weeks of rehearsal. The cast trained tirelessly, while guest dancers learned the choreography in mere hours. It was exhausting, it was ridiculous, and it was groundbreaking. The show's ambition didn't stop there. Entire episodes were filmed live. Others broke the fourth wall. Some asked viewers to solve mysteries in real time. There were dream sequences, absurd stunts, and unforgettable cameos, including one from Donald Trump himself during a traffic jam episode, alongside a bear, a camel, and a bull. Nothing was off limits. One of the most surreal moments came when the cast actually traveled to China to film an episode on the Great Wall. For Drew, it wasn't just work, it was his birthday. For others, it became a once-in-a-lifetime memory filled with jet lag, cultural shock, and, in Drew's case, an unexpected dependency on sleep medication that he jokingly admits lasted far longer than intended. The show also became a launchpad for future stars. Kate Walsh, Kristen Wiig, Caitlin Olsen, and even Steve Buscemi passed through its universe. Some early in their careers, others already on the rise. Watching those names now dominate Hollywood only adds to the legacy of the series. And then there were the guest appearances that felt almost too perfect to be real. Tammy Faye Bakker playing Mimi's mom stands out as one of the most inspired casting choices in sitcom history. Behind the scenes, Tammy Faye turned out to be warm, kind, and deeply genuine, a stark contrast to her public persona. For Kathy Kinney, driving Tammy Faye to press events felt like stepping into a surreal dream she never wanted to end. Fan encounters over the years have ranged from touching to brutally honest. Ryan Stiles recalls telling a fan that improvisation took weeks of rehearsal, only for her to respond, "Yeah, I thought so. You're funny." But not that funny. Drew, meanwhile, remembers being mistaken for a cast member from The King of Queens, a moment that perfectly sums up the unpredictability of fame. As the reunion winds down, the question of legacy arises, and the answer is refreshingly simple. Drew Carey never wanted to change the world. He wanted to change his world. He wanted laughs. Fun.connection. And 3 decades later, the fact that fans still remember, still watch, and still laugh, especially now that the full series is streaming free on Tubi and the Roku channel, means everything to him. If there's one final secret that truly defines the Drew Carey Show, it's this: the legendary craft service. Roast turkeys, pies, cakes, maple bacon, full spreads that attracted cast members from other shows like ER and Ocean's 11 just to sneak a bite. In the end, maybe that was the show's real legacy. Not just comedy gold, but a place where people genuinely wanted to be. 30 years later, the laughter still echoes. And for fans old and new, the Drew Carey Show hasn't just aged well, it's timeless.